Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a woman named Aisha. Aisha had a heart as pure as the morning dew and a radiant spirit that touched the lives of those around her. She had a loving husband, Abdullah, and a beautiful little daughter, Sarah. Life was full of joy and laughter for their small family. But one fateful day, a tragedy struck. Abdullah fell seriously ill, and despite the efforts of the village healer, he passed away, leaving behind a void that seemed impossible to fill. Aisha was left shattered, burdened with grief and sorrow. Her days grew darker, and her once vibrant spirit dimmed. In the early days after Abdullah's death, Aisha drowned in a sea of grief. Sorrow enveloped every aspect of her life, making each day seem darker than the last. The nights were the hardest, where she found herself awake for long hours, wondering why this had happened to her small family. On one of those dark nights, as she sat alone, Aisha felt the faith she had always held dear beginning to waver. She questioned God's wisdom and justice, finding herself unable to pray as sincerely as she used to. The pain was so deep that she felt she couldn't speak to God, and her words felt hollow. Aisha struggled to find meaning in life again. She spent her nights awake, tears streaming down her face, and her days lost in a fog of grief. It seemed as if happiness had abandoned her forever, and she felt utterly alone. She longed for a sign, a ray of hope to guide her out of the darkness that had engulfed her being. Adding to her deep sorrow, Aisha felt immense anxiety about how to provide food and basic necessities for her little daughter after losing Abdullah. She wondered how she would bear the responsibility of the family alone and how she would maintain the life that Abdullah had worked so hard to secure for them. One evening, as Aisha sat by her window, watching the golden rays of the sun color the sky, she noticed an elderly woman, frail and bent, with a gentle smile on her wrinkled face. Driven by curiosity, Aisha approached the elderly woman and shared the burden of her sorrow. The woman, whose name was Fatima, listened patiently to Aisha's tale of grief, her compassionate eyes filled with empathy. Fatima's words were like drops of wisdom, gently nurturing a seed of hope in Aisha's heart. She said, "Dear Aisha, grief is an incredibly heavy burden, but within that pain lies an opportunity for growth. You have been blessed with wonderful memories of love and happiness. Hold on to them tightly, for they are the key to finding solace in the present and hope for the future." Curious, Aisha asked, "But how can I find meaning in life again, Fatima? How can I move forward?" Fatima smiled gently and replied, "Every night before you close your eyes, take a moment to reflect on the blessings God has bestowed upon you. Count them, one by one, and let gratitude fill your heart. Embrace the joy that once resonated in your home and share it with others. Find solace in prayer and the remembrance of God, for He alone can heal the deepest wounds of our souls." Aisha decided to start with small steps. She began dedicating a short time each day to prayer, even if it was just a few minutes. At first, the words were difficult and came slowly, but over time, she began to feel a gradual sense of inner peace. She would sit quietly after prayer, reflecting on the small blessings still present in her life, her daughter Sarah, the friends who supported her, and the beautiful memories with Abdullah. Aisha took Fatima's words to heart. She began to refocus, holding on to the beauty that surrounded her while keeping the memory of her beloved husband Abdullah alive. She found solace in acts of kindness and generosity, reaching out to help others in need and volunteering her time to assist those facing loss or hardship. Slowly but surely, Aisha's heart began to heal. Her laughter returned, and her days regained their vibrancy. Though the void of her husband's absence would always remain, Aisha discovered that life was still worth living. She realized that true healing doesn't come from forgetting the past but from embracing it with love and gratitude. With time, Aisha found peace in prayer and remembrance. She felt that God was rebuilding her strength from within and that she was not alone on this difficult path. Prayer became a time of spiritual renewal and deep connection with God, helping her regain trust and faith in His wisdom. Over the years, Aisha became a beacon of hope for others who had suffered similar losses. She shared her story, reminding them that amid the darkness of grief, there is always a flame of light waiting to be discovered. Aisha's journey taught her that by cherishing the memories of our loved ones and finding purpose in our lives, we open ourselves to discovering the beauty and meaning that once seemed lost. Thus, Aisha's journey became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. She found life after losing her beloved Abdullah, proving that even in the face of unimaginable loss, we can emerge stronger, wiser, and filled with hope once more. If the story touched you, send prayers upon the esteemed messenger, peace be upon him.